my darlings. It is Friday, September 11th, and it is now time for our math lesson. So let's get to our math book. I know that your writing lessons were mixed up, but sometimes it just happens like that. So let's see what our robot wants us to learn today. Make sure it's turned up.
You can tell a counting story about what you see. I see dogs playing in the park. How many dogs are there? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How can you find out how many counters there are? You can count. Does it matter which counter you count first? No, it doesn't matter. If there is one counter for each dog, how many counters are there? There are 7 counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many counters do you color in to show the number of dogs? You color in 7 counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You counted to 7.
Now you know how to use counters to count to 7.
Okay, my friends, so we are working on counting to 6 and 7. So it looks like we had some doggies here to count, and they wanted us to use counters to count those doggies. And we already know that there are 7 doggies, so they used 7 counters. And it looks like they're using something new we haven't seen yet, and it's these little box squares around the counters. Now, right now, there are 5 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is called a 5 frame. So when there are 5 boxes to use for counting, that's called a 5 frame. Can you say 5 frame? 5 frame, yes. So this is a 5 frame. So if you have a counter in every one of those boxes, you know that there are 5 even without counting, because you know what a 5 frame looks like. So we know that there are 7 doggies, but there's a 5 frame here, so 5 counters. We needed to add more counters. So we know this is 5 because that's a 5 frame. So then we have 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's get to our workbook. Okay, so it looks like they're using more of the 5 frame. You can see a 5 frame here. Remember, 5 frame is 5 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they have a 5 frame here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's go ahead and count the doggies here and see how many there are and how we're going to show that with counters. Are you ready to count with me? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 doggies, and we need to show that in our 5 frame. How many boxes are in a 5 frame? There are 5 boxes in a 5 frame, but how many doggies are there? There are 6 dogs, so we're going to need to draw another counter. So I'm going to first draw my counters in my 5 frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But there are how many doggies? There are 6. So I need to do one more counter, and I'm going to do that right here. Now I'm going to count my counters to make sure that I have 6 to match the doggies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that one's good. All right, I'm going to turn the page. All right, it looks like we are using more 5 frames. And a 5 frame has how many boxes in it? It has 5. So let's first count our orange kittens. Are you ready to help me count? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So how many cats are there? There's 7. So we need to show with counters that there are 7 cats. So I need to fill in my 5 frame with 5 counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I need to make 7. So 5, 6, 7. And remember, when there's a 5 frame, you know that there's always how many boxes? 5. 5 frame, 5 boxes. All right, let's move on to the hot dog doggies. Let's count those hot dog doggies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 hot dog doggies too. So let's show with counters. How many counters are going to be here in our frames, in our boxes? How many? There's going to be 5. We know that because it's a 5 frame and we don't have to count it. So here I go, writing in my counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I need to make how many? How many hot dog doggies are there? There's 7. So I have 5, then 6, 7. And I'm done. Okay, let's count the hamsters. Those hamsters down there. We'll say they're hamsters. All right, help me count the hamsters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 hamsters, and I need to show that with counters using my 5 frame. So first I'm going to fill in my 5 frame with how many counters? 5. Here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But how many hamsters are there? There's 6, so I need one more counter. So I have 5 and then 6. Just that easy. Okay, go ahead and grab your journal so we can illustrate some 5 frames and counting 6 and 7. All right, first let's draw some 5 frames. So a 5 frame, I start off with a rectangle. Remember, a rectangle is 2 short sides and 2 long sides. And then we need to create 5 boxes in our 5 frame. So I'm going to draw a line down the middle. So there I have 2 boxes, but I need 5. So now I'm going to draw another line down this middle. Now I have 1, 2, 3, but I need 5. Now I'm going to draw a line down the middle of this box, right down the middle. And that is 4, so I need to add 1 more box. So I'm going to come to the end and add 1 more box. That's the easiest way that I've learned to make them look all the same size. If you figure out an easier way, let me know. Let's illustrate another 5 frame over here. So remember the triangle, or not triangle, the rectangle. one's a little long. I want to make sure that I'll be able to fit. Okay, so get your rectangle. So there's my rectangle. And then I'm going to draw a line down the middle. So here's the middle, kind of right about there. Then I'm going to draw a line down the middle of this rectangle. And then a line down the middle of this rectangle. Now I have 4, but I need to add 1 more to make it a 5 frame. There we go. That looks good. Okay, let's do some illustrating. How about we illustrate some crayons? Ooh, some different colored crayons. All right, my first crayon, I'm gonna make purple. And when I draw a crayon, I kind of do a triangle for the tip. There's a triangle for the tip. Then I go down the side, and then an oval for the bottom, and then a line there. So that's my first crayon. I'm gonna color that in so that you know it's purple. And I'm gonna leave that inside part open because that's the little paper wrapper. I wrote cray because I can't fit crayon. All right, now I'm gonna illustrate. I'm gonna go green. Another triangle. Then straight down long sides. And then my bottom, and I'm gonna color that in. And I'm gonna, again, write cray. All right, now let's do a yellow one. Yellow. Color it in. And I'm writing cray. Let's go red. I'm gonna do a red one. Color it in. And you can do whichever colors you want. They don't have to be the same as mine, just as long as they're different colors. I'm gonna get my blue. How are your crayons looking? Are they looking good? Good. And let's illustrate one more so that we have 6 all together. Let's go with orange. Okay, so, all right, let's count our crayons. Are you ready to count our crayons together? All right, here we go. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 crayons, so let's show that with some counters in our 5 frame. So we know we need 5, because here's 5 boxes here. So let's draw in 5 counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But how many crayons did we illustrate? We did 6, but we only have 5 counters, so we need to add 1 more counter. So I'm going to go right here underneath my first counter and add my next counter. All right, let's check those counters to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that matches the crayons. Okay, now let's illustrate something for this 5 frame. How about we illustrate, let's do some diamonds, but the shape diamond, not actual jewelry diamonds. And I think I'm gonna pick, what color am I pick? I'm gonna use pink. So when I illustrate a diamond, first I do, I'm gonna move that down a little bit. I do a triangle, and then I just add an upside down triangle. And there's my diamond. Let's illustrate 7 diamonds. So there's 1 for me. Top triangle, bottom triangle, 2, 3. Remember, top triangle, or like the beginning of an uppercase A, and then a letter V. You could do it that way too. 4, 5, 6. Just counting to make sure that I'm on the right track, because we want to illustrate 7 and 7. And then I'm going to count them at the end just to make sure I do have 7. All right, so help me count those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now let's show our 7 in our 5 frame. So we know we're going to have how many counters here in our boxes. How many are we going to have? We're going to have 5 because it's a 5 frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But how many diamonds did we illustrate? 7. So we need more counters. So 5, 6, 7. And when you're illustrating your counters and you have to count more, or you have to illustrate more than the 5 frame, you always start with the next one underneath your first one. So you move in the same direction from left to right. So I wouldn't put these 2 over here. Oh, I didn't want that there. We wouldn't put these 2 over here. I would start back at the beginning underneath the counters I already illustrated. All right. And that's us learning about our 5 frame. Remember, 5 frame has how many boxes? 5. You'll never forget because the number's in its name. 5 frame, 5 boxes. And we worked on our numbers counting 6 to 7. All right, my darlings, it is Friday. Enjoy the weekend. I will see you guys next week. Send me pictures of your 5 frames so I can see how wonderful they look. Bye, guys.